road trip from New York, the big city, and the Brewers and the Mets getting ready for the first of 3 games. Brewers coming off a series win in Pittsburgh. This is a very familiar spot for Carlos Gomez. He was here as an all-star last year. Gomez and Gene Segura back where they made their first all-star teams, and they're back in New York. And hi, everybody, we welcome you from Citi Field in New York. Great to have you with us here tonight alongside Bill Schroeder. I'm Brian Anderson. We'll hear from Telly Hughes in just a moment as well. Now, the Brewers playing very well. They took 2 out of 3 from the Pirates, had a thrilling win on Sunday. Meanwhile, the Mets, they've lost 6 consecutive games coming into this series, Rock. This is a place where the Brewers feel comfortable. They've had a lot of success here.
Yeah, the Brewers have been very good on the road. It started on the first road trip of the year. Boston and Philadelphia 6-0 in that stretch. But when you come into Citi Field, you got to get to the starting rotation very early because their bullpen has been in a shambles. They haven't had a good closer or a consistent closer since K-Rod left the Mets. You can see what the Brewers have been able to do. They've won 10 of 12. They've been swinging the bats pretty good, scoring almost 6 runs a game. And as has been the case for the Mets, they really haven't been able to score a whole lot of runs. You got to keep these guys off the board. David Wright is the guy you got to keep an eye on. Brewers have to continue to play well away from Miller Park.
Well, they'll send Marco Estrada to the mound here today in a pitcher-friendly ballpark. Telly will have more. We'll hear from the pitching coach, Rick Kranitz, about the strategy of Marco tonight at Citi Field.
City 8-game road trip, 5 are in the books with 3 to go against the Mets here in Queens. Hello and welcome back to Citi Field. I'm Telly Hughes. Marco Estrada will get the call for the crew to open the series, and there may not be another starter on this staff that's better suited to pitch in this ballpark. That's because Citi Field plays big, and that's great news for a fly ball pitcher like Marco. what might even be better is the road start success against NL East teams over his last 4 outings. There are the drastically different numbers compared to his first 6, and Brewers pitching coach Rick Kranich talks about how Estrada can add to that right column.
You know, obviously Marco has to command the fastball, and it has to be strike one, because he went through a period where he was getting behind and going a lot of 3-2 counts, and that's not going to work in any game, whether you're pitching in the big leagues, you're pitching in AAA, you're pitching in high school. That doesn't work when you pitch behind. So he's got to do a better job of that. We have to get ahead, especially this club, because they will take their walks. So we have to force the issue. You know, I think he matches up great against them with his stuff, but we have to get ahead in order for them to swing the bat.
The Crew is coming off a series win over the Pirates, and they'll look to open this series in New York the same way. VA and Rock are up next with the first pitch.
Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Miller Lite, now in the original can, it's Miller time. By Toyota, let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Lady Liberty standing tall on a hazy night here in New York. And the first of a 3-game series tonight. It's 75 degrees. There is a slight chance of rain here tonight. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder. Telly Hughes, our reporter this week. The Brewers coming off a series win against the Pittsburgh Pirates and now have opened up a 5-game lead in the National League Central. The Cardinals there at 5 back. The Pirates dropping to 7.5 back. Cincinnati and Chicago. The Cubs rounding out the National League Central. Brewers have played very well on the road this year as well. They're coming into play tonight. 6 games over 500. They're 19-13 on the road, and as Rock mentioned, the Brewers have won 10 of their last 12 here at Citi Field. Lance Barksdale will call the balls and strikes tonight. Angel Hernandez, Gary Cederstrom, and Mark Ripperger will be on the bases. Cederstrom, the second base umpire, is the crew chief. He's the guy to keep an eye on in case we have a review or replay challenge situation. Now Ron Renneke has changed his lineup up a little bit tonight. Gene Segura not leading off. He's been bumped down near the bottom of the order, hitting 8th. Renneke wanting a little more on base percentage at this point. Segura has struggled a little bit lately offensively. He's been saving a lot of runs defensively, but Renicky makes the move in his starting lineup and has Scooter Gennett leading off tonight. At second base, Ryan Braun will hit second again. He's in right field. Batting third, Jonathan Lucroy, he'll catch. In the middle of the order, it's Gomez, Ramirez, and Davis. And the bottom three, Lyle Overbay, Gene Segura, and Marco Estrada. It's the Associated Bank Milwaukee Brewers starting lineup. And there is tonight's mound opponent. It is Daisuke Matsuzaka. Made his name with the Red Sox. Now has found a home here in Queens with the Mets.
Yeah, when he first came to Boston from Japan, 2007-2008, combined 33-15, making his third start of the year. Right now he's in the starting rotation spot of Dylan G, who's on the disabled list with a strained right lat. And last time out, not very good for Matsuzaka. A no decision. 4 1/3 innings. The problem was walks against the Cubs. 5 walks in that stretch.
Now the Mets coming off a 6-game losing streak as they return home. Here's the Menards Mets defense. And some familiar names out there, Rock. You got the Gold Glove Award winner David Wright at third. The newcomer Curtis Granderson.
Yeah, and Chris Young out there in left field. Pretty good defensively out there. But the Mets have been pretty good. They're tied for 5th in the National League in fielding percentage. And they turn a lot of double plays. They've got the 4th most double plays in the National League with 59.
Now Scooter Gennett ready to lead off on his way to home plate. As we showed you, Gennett hit leadoff 5 times last year and went for a .369 average as a leadoff hitter. He's done it pretty much at every level of his career, from Little League all the way up through the minor leagues, and figures to be a leadoff hitter in the big leagues at some point. And he'll get his shot here tonight. Daisuke Matsuzaka, 2-0 record, 3.21 ERA. Has quickened his pace, we are told, from his days in Boston. That was always the complaint against Matsuzaka, even when he was going well. His first pitch is up and away we go.
Yeah, he doesn't stray far from that pitcher's rubber, but he always has had that very deliberate windup.
Brewers go Gennett, Braun, and Lucroy to start it tonight against the 33-year-old Matsuzaka from Tokyo, Japan. And Scooter takes strike 2.
Yeah, cut fastball. Talking to Johnny Nairn before the game today, he says Matsuzaka featuring 2 pitches, basically 2 seamer and a cutter. That cutter at 80 miles an hour. Not throwing all that hard these days.
And Matsuzaka is still trying to build up arm strength as he moves back into the starting rotation. Made a start against the Diamondbacks on May 25th. He went 6 innings in that game and 2 earned runs. That's his longest outing by far. Most of his outings out of the bullpen, 1, 2, and then there's a couple of 3-inning outings in there as well. That start against the Cubs last time out went 4 1/3. And he punches out Scooter Gennett to get the night started.
Now the big question for Matsuzaka is going to be able to throw enough strikes. We talked about base on balls his last time out. 5 of them. He didn't get out of the 5th inning, and pretty good location right there on the outside corner.
Matsuzaka will walk a lot of batters. He has the highest walk percentage in the major leagues. Averages about 6.7 walks per 9 innings. As Ryan Braun digs in with one away. Braun coming in with a batting average of .304, has 9 homers, 33 driven in, just 5 for 23 on the road trip thus far, hitting for a .217 average, although he does have 3 runs batted in.
And moving Ryan to the number 2 spot in the batting order has worked pretty well. It's kind of surprising that Segura has been bumped down to the number 8 spot. The Brewers have been scoring some runs. And Ron Renicky trying to take a little bit of pressure off of Segura, gets him back down to the bottom of the order, let him relax and try and get that stroke back.
Now, like the Mets, the Brewers enjoyed a day off yesterday
Brewers had a run of 10 in a row before a scheduled day off. Back at it tonight. 3 here in this series. All night games are on the air at 5:30 Central for all 3 nights of this series against the Mets. The Brewers will return home after the game Thursday, and then they'll open up a brief 3-game homestand against Cincinnati Friday night. And Braun draws the walk. So after an opening strikeout, Matsuzaka walks Ryan Braun and a base runner for Jonathan Lucroy. That .335 batting average is good enough for second in the National League coming into play tonight. Troy Tulowitzki, the league leader in batting. And Lucroy just continues to swing the bat well. Lucroy's had a great road trip. 9 hits in 20 at-bats. It started in Minnesota, and then he kept it going in Pittsburgh and hoping to keep it rolling here in New York.
And because of that approach, it's very difficult for teams to defend him. You can see on these clips of Lucroy the way he sprays the ball around the diamond down the left field line. In the same game on Sunday, down the left field line and the right field line. And because he does that, no real one way to pitch him and no real one way to defend him. So you got to keep it honest out there on defense.
And Lucroy hits that one sharply to center field. Den Decker is there to make the play. A line drive out for Lucroy, the second out. Matt Den Decker taking over the center field duties. Juan Lagares is out. That's a big loss for the Mets, and they've had some key losses. Lagares is out with an injury to his side, the intercostal strain they call it. Eric Young Jr. is out for Terry Collins. He's out with a hamstring injury. Rock mentioned Dylan G, one of their starters on the DL, and then their closer Bobby Parnell is out for the season.
Yeah, wonder why their bullpen struggles. I mean, because when you get your big boy, the closer, out on the disabled list or not effective, it affects everybody down there in the bullpen.
Oh, here's Carlos Gomez. Always feels at home in New York. This is the team that signed him and developed him, brought him to the big leagues. And such a thrill, in his words, to be able to make his first All-Star team last year in the game played here at Citi Field. Now, he never played here for his home games. That was just across the street over at Shea, which has been torn down. Braun takes off, a swing and a miss, though, to second and safe. Braun got a foot in there.
That's a nice pick out there at second base. Daniel Murphy on the short hop. And the throw by Teagarden a bit short. Teagarden just got called up. And you can see the glove has to go up on the pick, and too late when it comes down. That was a good effort over there by Murphy, and it's pretty close at second base.
Yeah. Well, the pitcher is on the rubber and the batter is in the box, so no challenge here by Terry Collins. Ball and a strike on Gomez, and it's outside 2-1. We took a trip today, Rock and I did, over to, and Ron Grolnick with Fox Sports Net took us over to the Replay Challenge Command Center in Chelsea, New York. That was a fascinating tour today, and got a great understanding, a little more thorough understanding of the setup there and what these umpires go through, and
process what they see when they're sitting in front of those screens. Each umpire that's assigned to the Replay Operations Center is responsible for 2 games. They have a tech next to them. There we are. All smiles right before lunch was bought for us.
Tweeted out. That's the reason we went in the first place, just to have our lunch bought. But we actually learned a lot.
Yeah, it was great.
So Chris Marinak, we appreciate his efforts today, and all the staff at MLB for showing us the command center, the replay system.
Pretty high tech, isn't it?
Oh my gosh. It's the ultimate man cave in there, man.
It is. Beautiful.
Big HD monitors everywhere. Games all over. Every game you can imagine. Full count, 2 outs. Braun at second. Gomez trying to drive in a run. And Gomez fouls it away.
Yeah, pretty good hack right there on a breaking pitch. Matsuzaka will throw a slider, 2 different speed sliders according to Johnny Nairn. Sometimes we'll throw a little bit harder, less break, a little bit slower with a little bit more of a break. That one was right down the middle.
Tried again, another payoff pitch, and Gomez spoils it again. Mets are mired in their longest losing streak of the season. 6 in a row. They got swept by the Giants in San Francisco. Prior to that, they were swept at Wrigley Field. Lost 3 games against the Chicago Cubs. But before this 6-game losing streak, the Mets had won 6 out of 7.
And get off to a pretty good start in April, too.
Here's the 8th pitch of the at-bat, and it's down and out. And Matsuzaka, living up to his early season reputation, 2 walks in the first inning.
And not wanting to throw Gomez a strike on the 3-2 pitch. That one not even close. Nice job by Teagarden to keep it close.
Well, in Matsuzaka's last start against the Cubs, he walked 5 in 4 1/3. So here is Ramirez. The Brewers threatening early. 2 on, 2 out. Braun and Gomez with walks. And a strike to Aramis. Ramirez just getting back in the flow of things on this road trip. Returned from the disabled list as the designated hitter in Minneapolis against the Twins for 2 days. Started playing third base in Pittsburgh. Payoff did him some good yesterday, as Ramirez sends that one deep to left field, but in this ballpark, an easy out. Young puts it away, and Matsuzaka a scoreless first. Marco Estrada's turn. He'll take them out at Citi Field, looking for another win. It would be his 6th. Mets starting a 3-game series tonight. Brewers failed to score in the first, and now Marco Estrada will face Terry Collins and the New York Mets, and a bit of a change at the top of his batting order as well. Collins has Ruben Tejada leading off for the first time this year. Daniel Murphy hits second. He's the hits leader in the National League. Then David Wright. Middle of the order is Granderson, Young, and Duda. Teagarden just called up from AAA. He'll catch. Matt Dendecker is the center fielder. Dice K will hit 9th. The Associated Bank New York Mets starting lineup that'll face Marco Estrada.
Yeah, Marco's won 3 of his last 4 decisions, and no decision last time out against Minnesota. 6 innings, 4 earned runs, and a Brewers 6-4 loss in the Twin Cities, making his 2nd career start against the Mets.
As Telly mentioned before we started the game tonight, he had a chat with Rick Kranitz, a ballpark that is tailor-made for Marco Estrada, a fly ball pitcher. And the Mets are a team that are willing to go deep in counts. They take a lot of pitches. Estrada, normally a strike thrower, and he'll be on the attack here tonight. Ball and a strike on Tejada.
He needs to work ahead in the count to make that changeup effective. Mentioned the Mets, they like to walk. They also strike out quite a bit, but do not hit a lot of home runs. Not surprising playing in this ballpark.
Lucroy sets up inside, and Estrada misses down and away. Now Marco, that 6-inning game against the Twins, he gave up those 4 runs. He didn't have his A stuff by a long shot. He said he really fought it throughout that game, but he kept the Brewers in the game. Brewers would lose 6-4. As Tejada turns that one around, that's deep into left field. Davis at the wall and makes the catch. And welcome to Citi Field, Marco Estrada.
Yeah, it would have been home run number 19 allowed for Marco. That ball was crushed out there in left field. It doesn't seem like it's that deep. 358 out there to straightaway left field, but the air's pretty heavy. Tejada, the leadoff hitter, gets a pretty good rip at it, and Marco breathes a sigh of relief.
Oh, right on cue, the first batter. And if you were with us for our Brewers Live pregame show, we were talking about hitting in this ballpark, and it's a lot like Petco in San Diego, maybe Dodger Stadium at night, but it'll take a little starch out of a hitter to hit one that good if you're Tejada, which is about at the end of his range, and to not be able to hit one out in those deep alleys.
They get him down the lines. Right center is even worse than out in left center. 390 to right center. That's a pretty good poke, and they moved the fences in here in left field not that long ago.
Well, they brought him in. The fences are shortened now. You can actually steal a home run all around the left center and move it over to right center field. There's a swing and a miss. Looked like a little change up from Estrada. One of the better hitters in the Mets lineup here in Daniel Murphy. Comes in batting .305 for the season. Chases a high fastball. The main reason Estrada is a fly ball pitcher, and Gomez puts it away for the out. How about the Brewers defense, Rock, courtesy of Menards?
Yeah, I'll tell you, these guys have been flashing the leather on this road trip, particularly Gene Segura back in Pittsburgh. Game-saving play in that bottom of the 9th inning with the Brewers up a run. Stellar defense pretty much all season long for this Brewers ball club. You have Ramirez, Segura, Jeanette, and Overbay in the infield, and Jonathan Lucroy back behind home plate.
So 2 up, 2 down for Estrada. Here is David Wright. As Wright takes a strike. Yeah, the Brewers escaping a 1-0 victory in Pittsburgh, and the non-stoppable play courtesy of Southwest Airlines was that gem turned in by Segura.
It doesn't get any better than that. I mean, given the situation, how the degree of difficulty, and Segura makes those look easy.
He has made a couple of those plays on this road trip. Had one in Minnesota as well, but none bigger than that one. That is, at this point, the defensive play of the year when you consider all that involved. Not just the degree of difficulty, but the time of the game as well. And right on cue, Segura will wind it up and take care of David Wright. 3 up, 3 down. Go the Mets in the first. We head to the second. Davis, Overbay, and Segura will bat.
common? None of them were center fielders. In a game that determines home field advantage for the World Series, do you want a corner outfielder playing center field? Fortunately, there is a solution. Carlos Gomez is not only an actual center fielder, he's a Gold Glove center fielder. So when you're casting your vote for this year's National League All-Stars, make the right choice and send a real center fielder to the All-Star game.
I'm Carlos Gomez, and I approve this message.
That's great. An attack ad.
That's awesome.
Vote Gomez, and Carlos Gomez moving up in the latest results. The third release of All-Star voting. Gomez has now moved into a starter's role. Brewers fans, you've been voting. Keep it up. He is now third. They'll take the top 3 to be an All-Star starter. The Feldco All-Star voting update. 8 players on the ballot, and you can vote up to 25 times per email account. Here's Chris Davis leading off the second.
It'd be interesting to have Gomez make the All-Star team last year, play here in New York, and then this year would be in Minnesota, both of his old teams.
I like that. Just completes the circle. He's playing like an All-Star, no question about it, and should be a starter. But he needs your support. Yeah, that was funny. A good advertisement there out of the creative and disturbed mind of Brad Weimer. Davis gets sawed off. Fly ball left field, bouncing foul.
Oh, by a foot. Not much foul territory down beyond that tarp. And just missing that chalk line down the left field line. I guess Chris Young, left field, has got to play very deep. They've got the shortstop Tejada shaded up the middle. That's a long run for everybody.
Foul territory gets really tight at that point, about halfway down each line, but it is expansive coming around to the dugouts and behind home plate. It'll take a lot of outs away. It is the other part of this being a pitcher's park, aside from the deep walls. And it's all by design. The idea here when they built this stadium, it opened in 2009, was to be the opposite of new Yankee Stadium and to be able to attract free agent pitching. Hasn't worked out that way just yet. Ball and 2 strikes on Davis. Fouls it back. This is the side where Davis injured himself last year, had a pretty bad hamstring strain. Final series of the year for the Brewers in New York. He was going along, having a great second half, and it took him 6 hard weeks of rehab after that in the offseason. He missed the last 2 games of the regular season. Went into the offseason after hitting 11 home runs in the second half, and instead of being able to relax and appreciate what he accomplished, he had to go right into hamstring rehabilitation.
Yeah, which is probably a good thing, right? I mean, no resting on your laurels, not when you've only got 1 year in. Well, he doesn't make his money with his wheels anyway, so he's just fine.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Davis. Long pause by Daisuke, and a swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Matsuzaka.
That's really got to be disconcerting up there at the plate. He starts, he stops, and then he picks it up again. And that one, 2-seam fastball right down the middle of the plate. That delivery is just as complicated as, you know, having to deal with his pitches.
Now, only a few of the Brewers have ever seen Matsuzaka or faced him. Overbay has the most significant experience against Daisuke. Lyle has 27 career at bats. He's got pretty good numbers too. He's hitting .259 lifetime against him. Has 7 hits, and of those 7 hits, he's hit 3 home runs against Matsuzaka.
Well, starting to swing the bat much better, staying on it. Yeah, middle speed type hitter. Matsuzaka not overpowering.
And out in front of an off-speed pitch, like the changeup. Still has a splitter, you said, right?
A splitter change kind of thing. I mean, cross between a split-fingered fastball and a changeup. Not sure how he holds it, but kind of a hybrid.
An old-fashioned forkball, maybe.
Yeah.
Which he uses as a change of pace. And that one just missed. They'll ask if he went, and he did. Overbay, unable to check his swing. Third base umpire Mark Ripperger rings him up. Back-to-back Ks.
Yeah, a lot of times you wait that long, you don't get the call, but looked like it might have been a called strike anyway. That's Barksdale didn't think it was a strike. Might have been just a bit low, but does he go? Third base umpire says he did.
Well, the pitch wasn't called a strike. The swing was the strike. Gene Segura with 2 away. Dropped out in the order, batting 8th tonight. After hitting leadoff. He's been in that leadoff role since May 23rd. Had a good run there. Bat's starting to cool off a little bit, so Renicky, like he did the first time around, looking for a little bit of a change of scenery in the lineup.
I don't think it's so much where he's hitting, it's just the fact he's not hitting right now. So you move him down, you get a guy up there like Segura that's a little bit more consistent. He'll get some hits. Brewers started to take off offensively with Segura in that leadoff spot. Segura, Braun, it worked pretty well for a while.
And a bouncer to short. Tejada takes care of Segura, and a 1-2-3 inning for Daisuke Matsuzaka. That's coming up. Estrada back on the mound. Missed it. Big news in baseball over the weekend. Friday, a hard tag. Josh Donaldson, Manny Machado having words. Thought it was over at that point, but it most certainly was not, because Sunday, Abad throwing at Machado twice. Second time, Machado throws the bat on purpose over towards third. The bench is cleared, and Manny Machado receiving a 5-game suspension. It was announced yesterday. He has appealed that suspension, and see a lot of pitched balls thrown at hitters. You very rarely in Major League Baseball history, Rock, see a bat thrown at a player.
Yeah, ridiculous.
It's Curtis Granderson on the first pitch. Foul territory for Ramirez for the first out.
I don't know. I mean, what do you say to that? I mean, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, a little bit of frustration, a hard tag. I mean, hey, that's the way the game goes sometimes. I mean, what was not shown on that was that the Orioles threw at Donaldson a couple of times, hit him once, and then Machado
A little bit of retaliation, throws it back. He can't be throwing it back. I mean, he's lucky he only got 5 games.
Well, he has appealed it. He still could cancel the appeal. But as was the case with Carlos Gomez during that appeal process, it could take a little bit. There's a bunt. A good one by Young, and no chance for Marco Estrada. So Chris Young, a struggling hitter, bunts his way aboard, and the first hit of the ball game.
He's got good speed. Chris Young has been known as having some big power, but I guess with the infield playing back, all he's got to do is drop it down the line, and Marco, realizing no play, just holds on to it. Give him a base hit. You don't want to throw it away and have him end up at second base.
So the former Diamondback, former Oakland Athletic, Chris Young, now at first base with 1 away. And here comes Lucas Duda. Mets push their chips to the middle with Duda. They traded away Ike Davis to the Pirates. And Duda is going to be their first baseman. He's got a lot of power. Has 8 home runs. He and Granderson tied for the club lead in the lineup today in home runs with 8. And like a lot of big power hitters, the Brewers expecting Duda to pull the baseball on the ground. They have the overshift on with 3 infielders on the right side. Duda hitting .242. Has 30 runs batted in. David Wright's their RBI leader with 32.
Yeah, 8 home runs leads the Mets in home runs. I mean, it's tough to hit him here. Duda, big dude. No pun intended.
Big Duda, you mean?
Mets have 3 players with 30 or more RBIs. Scoring runs has been an issue for the Mets.
A big man, 6'4", 254. 6 of his 8 home runs have come here at Citi Field. That one is in the air to left. Easy enough for Chris Davis for the second out.
Hey, this Father's Day, take Dad to Miller Park Sunday, June 15th, to see the Brewers battle it out against the Cincinnati Reds. All fans in attendance get a Brewers vintage bobblehead courtesy of Time Warner Cable. Visit Brewers.com for tickets.
Only 3 days of this long stretch on the road for the Brewers against the Cincinnati Reds. They're starting to get healthy as well. They might have Joey Votto back by that series. Bruce is back in the lineup. Matt Lato's close to returning. Reds are going to be a factor, you figure. They're struggling now, but they've had a ton of injuries. Taylor Teagarden sends one foul down the right field line.
Reds 8 games back behind the Brewers, 29-33. They've lost 6 of their last 10. They've always given the Brewers trouble.
Yeah, the Brewers will be home for 3, and then they'll be right back on the road. Phoenix and Denver. But the Diamondbacks and the Rockies on the next road trip. Young takes off, got a huge jump. Teagarden lets him run. Sacrifices a strike, however. That'll be a stolen base for Young. But the count is 0-2 on Taylor Teagarden.
And not much you can do about that for Lucroy, huh? They're not paying much attention to the base runner. Focusing on the hitter.
And Marco, a very conscientious person, apologizes to his catcher.
After Lucroy called timeout and went out to him. So you're going to say you're sorry or what?
No balls, 2 strikes. Mets with a runner in scoring position. And Teagarden takes a ball. Teagarden just got here. First at bat of the season in the big leagues. He was hitting .279 in AAA Las Vegas. Had 8 home runs down there. Mets sent Travis d'Arnaud back to AAA. That was a player move a couple of days ago. Got him. Estrada punches him out. Got him with a changeup. And a called strike 3. Fly ball out and strikeout for Estrada so far. Wisconsin is brought to you by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Marshfield Clinic, don't just live, shine. And by Gerhard's, the kitchen and bath store. Find inspiration for your home, remodel, or new construction project at Gerhard's. We welcome you back. We have a full gallery in the booth here at Citi Field, and it's all for a great cause. And we have Michael Milken is here, Tommy Lasorda, and your name? Bill Schroeder. He's here. No. Yeah. So we're going to have a chat through this inning, and we're going to talk about prostate cancer research, and we're coming up on Father's Day, and it's a great opportunity to bring these guys. And we do it every year. I guess, Michael, we'll start with you before we get to Tommy Lasorda here, though. But you've been doing this for a number of years, and we're back at it.
This is our 18th year on the road, and I've been honored to be able to play on Tommy's team for the last 16 as we've traveled around the country.
Now, during the week of Father's Day, Prostate Cancer Foundation and Major League Baseball honoring dads everywhere. The 19th annual Home Run Challenge, it's called. Every year we have Michael up. Do you know the number from last year? How much money was raised last season?
Close to $3 million, but what I do know is that the Brewers have hit 97 home runs during the Home Run Challenge, and we've raised over $3 million from Brewers home runs, and we've turned around and invested $10.7 million just in the medical research institutions in the state of Wisconsin, particularly the University of Wisconsin, which is one of the great research centers in the world.
And you couldn't have a better ambassador than the king of all ambassadors, as Estrada will reach first, and that would be Tommy Lasorda. And Tommy, you've been a part of this program for a number of years. Your thoughts about continuing this project?
Well, I'll tell you right now, we've been traveling together the amount of years he said, but the most important thing is we have cut down the rating of how many people are dying from this prostate cancer. And Michael, he's the man that's been, he's led us and done everything he can to get this thing conquered. And if there's anybody who's going to find the cure for prostate cancer, it's Michael Milken. He donates his money, his time, his effort, and he wants to help many, many people. He already has helped many people.
Well, the death rate has dropped 50% from projected levels, and I think we're within 5 years of making it a chronic disease. It is amazing what has changed in the treatment of many, many life-threatening diseases over the last few years. And whether it's immunology, where they just energize your immune system today, whether it's stem cells, whether it's a field of precision medicine where we're treating you, not a disease, things have changed dramatically since we went on the road 18 years ago.
Obviously, the most important thing is getting tested. When do you recommend men get tested, and how often should they do that?
You know, I would not be with you today had I not had that simple blood test, the same as you're getting your cholesterol checked, and that I had absolutely no symptoms. At 45 years old, I had to convince the doctor to give me a test. Doesn't cost that much money. And it's the same as getting your cholesterol, just a blood test. And it came back that I had a PSA of 28, where they get concerned at 4 or 5 at my age. And I had my prostate cancer had spread throughout my body. So I am here with you today as testimony of the amazing advancements that have occurred in prostate cancer research. But there are 15 million people living in North America today, living normal lives, who had cancer. And so if you think back a couple decades, a friend, a loved one was diagnosed with cancer, you start to think, well, how much longer are they going to live? Today, for many cancers, you're going to live normal lives, active lives, due to modern treatments today. And
as Scooter Gennett strikes out, continue on, Michael.
And the #1 awareness program in the world for prostate cancer is this Home Run Challenge effort, where we go out to ballparks around America, remind you to get checked for prostate cancer. Bring your dad, bring your brother, bring your next door neighbor, co-worker. And the beauty of baseball is you can sit there and actually have a conversation during the game and enjoy the great American pastime.
Tommy, how did you get involved with Michael in this cause? Tommy, how did you get involved with all this?
Well, Michael and I became friends many, many years ago, and when he asked me if I would like to get involved with him, I said, anything I can do for you, Mike, I'm doing it. And anything we can do together to help solve a lot of people's problems, I want to be part of it. So I'm going to hang around with him for at least 15 more years till I reach 100.
You look great, Tommy. It's great to see you here. Let's give you a couple of websites. PCF.org is the overall website of the Prostate Cancer Foundation. And then what Major League Baseball is involved with right now is the Home Run Challenge. So that's homerunchallenge.org, all one word, homerunchallenge.org. And it started yesterday. So Father's Day week, Father's Day coming up Sunday, June 9th. It started yesterday, and it'll continue through the 15th. And today in our game, every home run worth $602. So it's something that baseball is behind in a big way. It starts Mother's Day weekend with breast cancer awareness and research, and it continues Father's Day weekend with prostate cancer research and awareness. And Michael's been at the forefront for many years now.
Well, I've lost 4 relatives, unfortunately, to breast cancer over the years. But once again, no family is not touched by cancer. 1 in 2 men will be diagnosed with cancer, 1 in 3 women. And that is why these developments that you can read about at PCF.org are so astounding. The fact that you can have advanced cancer.
As Braun sends one to left, and that'll be played by Young for the second out of the inning. Go ahead, Michael.
You can have advanced cancer and find out that there's actually a solution for your problem. And it's not just prostate cancer, it's melanoma and many others. Every day that we have another announcement that's come out, and the last 20 years have really revolutionized medical research, but particularly cancer research. And you know, we've had a great supporter in the owner of the Brewers, Mark Antanasio. This is actually the first time I have not been in the booth with him.
Right.
He's landing at 9 o'clock, so he wants them to score a lot of runs so he can get into the ballpark tonight.
As Lucroy pulls one foul, and no offense to you, Michael, or you, Tommy, but Paul Abdul's here as well, and we were kind of hoping maybe Paul Abdul might be joining us
Well, we'll
in the
tell
booth.
her you were asking about.
I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah.
We do. I need to get a baseball. Can I ask you a baseball question before we get out of this inning?
Absolutely.
I know you know Ron Renicky very well, and he was once
Yes.
with the Dodgers organization.
Yes.
What do you think about what he's done in his managerial career?
Well, he's learned the Dodger way of being a manager. He played for Socia. Socia was the Dodgers manager. He managed the style that the Dodgers play. And then Ron has picked it up, and he's done well with it. He's an outstanding manager, and I think he gets along real good with his players. It seems that way, and that's the main thing. Get along good with your players, and they'll play for you.
And to be a team. You know, there's many teams, as we travel around and see all the teams in baseball, they have great talent. They're just not playing as a team. And I think you know that. The teams always win. And speaking of Paula Abdul, she has been phenomenal.
As Gomez grounds to third. Well, guys, it's great to have you here. You know we're behind you 100%. Tommy Lasorda, Michael Milken. We appreciate all that you've done. Prostate cancer research.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate you having us up here and letting the people know what we're all about.
All right.
Great to see you again.
All right, Michael. Great.
Orioles. Time to check in with the crew in the community. Brewers Community Foundation and Doug and Ellen Melvin join Northwestern Mutual as sponsors of the Wisconsin Breast Cancer Show House. The tours run, well, they actually already started May 31st and they run through June 15th. All proceeds support breast cancer and prostate cancer research at the Medical College of Wisconsin. The designers have done amazing work for a great cause. Go to breastcancershowhouse.org and enjoy touring the home.
All right, Telly, thanks. And we are back at Citi Field, ready to get to the bottom of the third inning. Great to see Tommy Lasorda, one of the great ambassadors of the game of baseball, the Hall of Famer. Michael Milken does a terrific job in all of his philanthropic efforts. And the Home Run Challenge is going to be all week here. So it started yesterday. It'll run through the 15th. This is not the greatest place in the world to have a home run challenge, Rock. Citi Field. You don't see a lot of home runs, but you never know.
Yeah. It's surprising that Tommy Lasorda is equating Ron Renicky's managerial style to Dodger blue. That's kind of surprising, isn't it? Boy, he loves his Dodgers.
Everything equates to Dodger blue.
Man.
The Dodger way with Tommy.
Good for him.
I always like as Den Decker sends one to deep center. And Gomez is there. First pitch swinging, one away. Always like shaking hands with Tommy, because even though he was a pitcher, you know, he's got all, it's like catcher's hands.
Yeah.
All of his fingers are crooked,
going different directions. Yep.
I've known Tommy for a long time, even when I was in minor league baseball. And I worked for a Dodgers affiliate, and you might remember at the time in the 90s, he took over as a general manager at one point, and he spent a lot of time in San Antonio, and we would come on the air, and you know, most of the time we wouldn't even make it to commercial break.
But doesn't everybody feel as though they know Tommy Lasorda?
It's true.
I mean, honestly, he's the kind of a guy, man. He just when he walks in, everybody knows that Tommy's around, and just a good guy.
Dice-K at the plate with one away. And Estrada trying to make quick work of him. Not too bad. Mark Atanasio couldn't be here. He normally comes in the booth. You know, Michael Milken was Mark's boss at one point. And Atanasio still very close with Michael Milken.
I'm with you on the Paul Abdul thing. I mean, where was she?
Felt like we got the short end of the straw there.
You think?
I think she went over to the Mets broadcast.
With Keith Hernandez?
And there's a called strike 3. So Estrada strikes out Dice-K for the second out of the inning.
Hey, tonight's time of the game winner, Aaron Inn in Hartford, Wisconsin. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
I've actually driven by that place.
I was going to say, you haven't actually gone in, have you?
That's my territory.
Yeah, you going in?
I drove by it on my way to Erin Hills.
Ah, gotcha.
So they're bracing for 2017. That's going to be a hot spot.
I drove by Erin Hills on my way there. That's the difference between you and I.
2 outs for Estrada. Top of the order here is Ruben Tejada, and he takes a strike. Tejada hit a deep fly ball that Chris Davis caught in left field, just in front of the wall in left center. The Mets have one hit. That was a bunt single by Chris Young. He stole a base. He was left stranded at second. So Estrada's faced one over the minimum. Brewers coming up with 2 singles last inning. Could not get a run home. Estrada's thrown 31 pitches, 21 of them strikes. So the game plan was to be on the attack tonight, and he has been just that.
And really establishing fastball. Hasn't made any mistakes with the pitch. He's thrown a changeup here and there and a few curveballs. Change.
Daniel Murphy waits to hit next. Estrada hoping he leads off the next inning. And the 3-2 hits the bat on an excuse me swing.
Ball 4 couldn't hold up.
First game as a leadoff hitter of the season for the red hot Tejada. That's shortstop. He's hitting at about a 400 clip over the last 3 weeks, and that one just missed.
Marco's not missing by much.
First walk issued.
And Tejada taking him like they're off the plate by a foot. Check this one out. Fastball trying to catch that outside edge, and I tell you, these guys, they know their strike zone, don't they?
So here is Daniel Murphy. Had 3 hits on Sunday in that loss in San Francisco. 3 out of 4. Upped his batting average to .305 coming in. Murphy's been in the news a little bit lately. You might remember the story. He missed opening day. He was on paternity leave, birth of a child. Took a little bit of heat for it. So much heat, in fact, that President Obama invited him to the White House recently. Murphy hammers one to right. Braun gone back, and it is up and gone. Murphy with a 2-run home run, and with 2 outs, the Mets strike. And the home run bug continues to bite Marco Estrada.
That was about 19 home runs. And he's given up a home run in each of his last 10 games. Murphy getting good extension of fastball middle in. That was a line drive out of here to right.
And number 5 of the year for Murphy gives the Mets 2 on the board in this 3rd inning. Here's David Wright.
So how do you like the trip to the White House?
Yeah, he did a good job. He made a great speech, and now he comes back and hits a home run. Inspired him, I suppose.
Oh. And the reason for the visit?
Oh, I'm sorry. Because it was an initiative for fathers, paternity leave, fathers being involved. As Wright goes to right for the out. I left that small detail out. Yeah, sorry about that. 2-0 Mets. To right, and we head to the top of the 4th inning. The Brewers threatened in the top of the 3rd, came up empty. Carsoup.com trivia question: the only Japanese-born player to play for both the Brewers and the Mets. And a Japanese-born pitcher on the mound for the Mets here tonight, Matsuzaka. Speaking of pitchers, I think that was Matt Harvey strolling through that dugout. We talked about all their injuries and their losses. That is the most significant of the losses.
Yeah, forgot about him, huh?
Flamethrower Harvey, who underwent Tommy John surgery last year. He's on the comeback trail. We're hoping to get him back at some point this summer. Matsuzaka from Tokyo, Japan. Baseball just made an announcement that they're going to start up that Japanese All-Star Series again, where they take Major League stars to Japan. As Ramirez pops it up to Tejada for the 1st out. 1 away in the 4th. Yeah, it's been since '06. Remember that tour they used to do? Major League Baseball.
A lot of guys looking to go over there. I said that's a good time. Nice trip.
It's a 5-game series, and I believe a couple of those nights will be in Daisuke's hometown, Tokyo. Kind of bounce on a little barnstorming tour. I know the players are excited to start that up again. Here's Chris Davis. Big swing by Davis.
Just a little bit out of the strike zone. Matsuzaka gets it up there in the low 90s. But with all the off-speed stuff that he throws, it appears a lot quicker to that hitter. That slider, the cutter, throw it a two-seamer, once in a while a four-seamer. There's one there down in the strike zone, 91 miles an hour.
Daisuke, one of the legendary amateur pitchers in Japan, was a celebrity before he even made a professional pitch over there. In Japan, they televise their high school playoffs, and it is a huge deal in Japan. It's on national television, and Matsuzaka had one of the legendary performances in a couple of games. Coming back from a long game, he came back and pitched. I believe he threw a no-hitter. And he was already a household name before he ever signed a contract in Japan. And then, of course, it was the Red Sox who had that record-setting posting fee of $50 million just to have the right to negotiate with Matsuzaka.
He played 8 years over in Japan. Incredible numbers for him.
And he hits Davis. So Davis is hit by a pitch and a base runner with one out.
Yeah, trying to come inside, just got it in there a little bit too much, right on the back of the elbow for Davis. And the Brewers with a one-out base runner. Yeah, Matsuzaka was 108-60 over in Japan with a 295 earned run average. Not bad.
Not bad at all. He was one of the first in the second wave of these the Japanese posting system. He kind of restarted that posting system. Of course, Tommy Lasorda could tell you all about Hideo Nomo in Los Angeles. But then the Japanese pitchers and players, but mostly pitchers, became some of the more sought after pitchers available to major league teams.
So he made 190 starts in the Japanese leagues, comes over to the United States and becomes a rookie again.
Came over to the States prior to the 07 season. Was pitching for the Seibu Lions in Japan before that. Overbay's seen a lot of them in the American League East. Overbay's years with the Blue Jays. Overbay takes a ball. 2-2 the count on Overbay after Davis was hit by a pitch on a 2-2 count. Lyle struck out on a half swing he could not check his last time up. Matsuzaka has 4 strikeouts. He's walked 2 and he's hit a batter. And the Brewers have 2 hits. Full count.
He's trying to get Overbay to chase. Seems like he's got no problem getting ahead in the count, but not able to get that put-away pitch to the Brewers in this inning. I'm not sure if you're going to see Chris Davis run on the pitch. Average speed at best. We'll see if Overbay is able to protect him if he takes off.
He takes off, and Overbay bounces one that's past Duda down into the right field corner. Davis on his way around third. He'll score easily. Overbay in with a double and an RBI, and the Brewers are within a run.
It couldn't have worked out much better than that. Davis runs on the pitch, and Overby able to roll one all the way down in the right field corner. They had Duda a little bit off the line. Breaking pitch was a slider, and Overby continues his good success against Matsuzaka, driving in another run. Looked like Davis, once he got to second base, turned around to see where the ball was instead of looking at Ed Cedar, but still able to score.
And score without a throw. An RBI for Overby, who puts the 0 up. And here's Gene Segura. And we check in with Telly Hughes. What do you have, Telly?
Well, BA, tonight Gene is batting 8th in the lineup, and Ron Renicky said that this was just something to help him relax. He felt like he was pressing too much after getting off to such a great start in that leadoff position. But he also said that it's something that he didn't just come up with yesterday. It was an idea he's been kicking around, and as Rock mentioned earlier in tonight's ball game, it's just maybe sliding down in that lineup can help him relax more.
And talking to Johnny Nairn about Gene Segura before the game today, just jumping at the baseball a little bit, not staying back. You know, that was the issue that Chris Davis was having for a while.
There's a shot to short. Overby's on the move. Will be an easy out. A poor base running decision by Overby. And Tejada makes easy work of him at third. That put out goes 6-5. That's the second out of the inning as Segura reaches on a fielder's choice.
Well, Overby not real fast, but normally a pretty good base runner, and that's just a bad mistake by Lyle. They're trying to make a little bit too much happen, thinking it might be in the hole to score a run. But never advanced to third base on a ground ball hit in front of you.
Well, that'll bring Estrada to the plate, the Brewer pitcher who singled his last time up. Takes a lash at one. Hitting in front of the pitcher, if you're looking at all of your personnel and you wanted to put a guy who's a little bit on the over aggressive side, that might be the spot to put him. And Segura's going to swing, and you're okay with that from your 8th place hitter as Estrada bounces to Tejada, and that one's out of the side. So the Brewers get a run. An RBI double by Lyle Overby. It's 2-1 Mets. Bottom of the 4th coming up. Back at the top of this 4th inning. In the Dominican Republic, players as young as 16 train at the Brewers Academy, chasing MLB dreams. Many of them play with a sense of desperation, their opportunity to rescue their family from poverty. The Academy becomes a home away from home as they're housed, fed, and schooled in the game of baseball and the challenges they'll face when they reach the United States. Tune in tomorrow, 9:30 p.m. for baseball in the Dominican. Brewers Academy, only on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Talk about a sense of urgency for those young kids, huh? A way out.
Gomez came through the Mets Dominican Academy, and said all he knew how to order when he got to the United States was the number 7 at a fast food restaurant, because he knew how to say 7. Amazing story. Segura, this is the 3rd installment coming up. Sophia Minard and the Fox Sports Wisconsin crew did a great job. Fascinating stories on Segura and Gomez, and now you get to see the Academy up close and personal. Here's Curtis Granderson hitting cleanup for the Mets, hitting just .221 coming in. Popped up in foul territory at third base on the first pitch he saw in his first at bat in the 2nd inning.
A little bit different ballpark he's hitting in now, right? The launching pad into right center at Yankee Stadium, and it's tough here.
Big swing and a miss, way out in front of it on the changeup. Anderson from the Tigers to the Yankees, and now the Mets, and down he goes. Estrada picks up the backwards K, strikeout number 3 for Marco.
Yeah, came in on him with the changeup and then went back outside with the fastball. There it is. Right on the corner. Lucroy doing a good job holding it right there for Lance Barksdale. Bingo.
Here's Chris Young. Had a bunt single his last time up. Brewers put a shift on for him as well. 3 infielders on the left side. Still has good wheels. Hasn't emerged as the player they thought he'd be, as Estrada bare hands flings it over to Overbay for out number 2.
Tickets are going fast for the Brewers' big weekend showdown with the rivals from Cincinnati this Friday through Sunday, when Jonathan Lucroy leads the crew into action against flamethrower Aroldis Chapman and the Cincinnati Reds. Reserve your spot today at Brewers.com.
Yeah, make sure you come early Friday for the Wall of Honor ceremony. It's going to be a lot of fun. Gonna have a bunch of old Brewers there. I'm sure we'll have plenty of them in the booth on Friday.
I could say former Brewers.
Former Brewers.
Say old.
That's true. Experienced Brewers who don't play anymore. Duda into right center. Braun will call for it, and that'll retire the side. 3 up, 3 down for Estrada. 8-pitch inning for Marco. By Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Miller Lite, now in the original can, it's Miller time. Sun is set here in New York. Final leg of this three-city road trip for the Brewers. First of three against the Metropolitans. 2-1 our score. The Brewers trailing the Mets. And the Brew Crew going back to the top of their order here against Matsuzaka. It'll be Scooter Gennett. He's had a tough time with Daisuke. 2 strikeouts so far tonight. Hitting in the leadoff spot for the first time this year.
Yep, one on a fastball, one on a slider. A backdoor slider got him last time up.
Matsuzaka just getting into the starting rotation, so pitch count is an even bigger story for him tonight. He's sitting at 75 as he works here in the 5th inning. He's been pretty efficient tonight.
Yeah, 4 1/3 last time out. 4 1/3, 5 walks for Matsuzaka. His last start, only his 2nd start of the year. Dylan G on the disabled list, taking his spot.
They're hoping to get G back by the end of June. Went on the DL in mid-May. He's one of their more consistent starters. A lat injury on the back. Gennett a little bit late, fouls it away. Scooter in a 3-2 count. Brewers would love to get that pitch count up in this 5th inning and force Terry Collins to get into his bullpen here.
Yeah, 88 pitches his last time out. His first start he went 98 pitches, oddly enough.
Year number 4 for Terry Collins. Been dealt a tough hand here. Mets have just been unable to get their organization turned around. And that's ball 4. So a good way to start the inning for the Brew Crew. Gennett with a walk. It's the first walk since the 1st inning, but the 3rd overall now for Matsuzaka.
And 27 walks for Matsuzaka in about 37 innings of work. I mean, that's a lot. He's actually got coming in more walks than hits allowed.
He applies the philosophy he will not give in. He'll put a lot of runners on base.
He's only given up 1 home run. That proves that point. Work the corners. Don't give up anything down the middle.
Ryan Braun now. A little half swing. It's a strike anyway. Check the Powerball home run leaderboard for the Brewers. Braun's on that list. He's 4th on the club. Chris Davis is 3rd with 10. You got Gomez and Reynolds at the top. And Reynolds not in the lineup here tonight. Braun shoots one to first. That's on a hop. They get the out at 2nd, and the return is in time.
Yeah, beautiful play by Lucas Duda. Wow. Well, Braun hit that one right on the button, right at the first baseman, and Duda handled it nicely. The 3 to 6 to 3 double play, the toughest. Well, that's a 1-hop bullet right at him. He's able to make a good throw and get back to first for the double play. Perfect throw to second base.
2 outs, 1 swing of the bat. Base is empty, and here is Jonathan Lucroy.
It's one thing the Mets do well, I should say. Turn double plays. That's their 60th. Ranks 4th in the league.
It's kind of a good news, bad news stat, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of men on base, right?
Well, Matsuzaka working from the stretch, even with nobody on. It's a bit of a change over the last couple of years. Lucroy lined out in the 1st, and then he singled in the 3rd. Hope you had a chance to catch Jonathan Lucroy on MLB Network yesterday. He was on the show MLB Now, part of the panel there. He did a great job. Said he enjoyed the experience.
Well,
I could see him moving into a TV role at some point. Got a long career ahead of him, though. He's having a great year. Batting average up to .336. Second in the NL. Top average for a catcher in baseball. Called strike 3 right at the bottom of the zone, and down he goes. A double play and a strikeout, and the Brewers are wiped out in the 5th. Field. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Hey, a reminder, on Saturday it's a full day of MLB action. Starts with the Twins taking on the Tigers on Fox Sports 1, and then Baseball Night in America on Fox. Reds Brewers this Saturday. Our MLB doubleheader begins Saturday at 3 p.m. Central on FS1, and then the night game, Baseball Night in America, at 6 p.m. Central. Brewers up 5 in the National League Central. Cincinnati starting to get their injured pieces back together. 8 games back and sitting 4 games under 500. We head into mid-June, heading to Father's Day weekend, and the Brewers continue to set the pace in the division. Second best record in the National League. Milwaukee coming in with a record of 38-26, 12 games over 500.
Yep, 19-13, both at home and on the road.
Taylor Teagarden leads off for the Mets. 1 ball, 1 strike on him.
Road success all started the first road trip of the season. A 6-0 trip through Boston and Philly. They've only lost 3 road series this year. Have not been swept, so they've been able to hang in there on the road. Playing much better at home. They're actually playing better on the road than they were at Miller Park early in the year.
Rockies club has won back-to-back games, 6 of their last 10. With a win tonight, the Brewers would be a season-high 13 games over 500 for the second time. They reached that mark on April 29th after that 20-win month. They were 20-7. Two and 2 to Teagarden. Got him. Estrada strikes him out. He took a little off with the changeup, and he strikes out Teagarden for the second time tonight.
Yeah, got a much better changeup tonight. That's been a problem for him. Last few starts really haven't been able to locate that pitch, and now all of a sudden to a very patient club, a team that will walk quite a bit, the most in the National League. He's got him swinging out of the zone on the changeup. It's a good pitch for him tonight.
That scored in that 18-pitch third inning, that 2-run homer by Murphy. In that inning, Estrada retired the first 2 hitters. And then he walked Tejada, barely missing on the 3-2 offering. It was close. And then Murphy hit a home run, the next batter. Eighth place hitter Matt Den Decker, Mets center fielder, at the plate. The threat of the changeup makes an 89-mile-an-hour fastball work at the big league level.
Yeah, especially when you put it where he just put that last one up and in.
See what he does. 0-2 here. Back to the high fastball.
That changeup's down and fastball's in. Very difficult to get a bat on it. That changeup slows your bat down quite a bit, and all of a sudden you throw the fastball. Upper 80s, low 90s. Tough to get the barrel of the bat on it.
There's a changeup again, but Den Decker rolls over one through the hole, a base hit.
Yeah, lift that one up.
1 out single for the Mets center fielder. Now time for you to tweet your photo using hashtag WisFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming broadcast. It's all brought to you by AT&T. Matsuzaka up there to bunt. Got 1 out, a runner at first. Good speed over there at first base in Den Decker. If he bunts one firmly at an infielder, a good chance the Brewers could turn a double play. He would be the lead out at second. And there's a good bunt. Only play is first base. Overbay will make it. Nicely done by Matsuzaka.
Nugget's been bunting his whole career. That's a nice bunt. Helping himself, advancing base runners. Good technique. Bat head out in front, just deadens it right in front of home plate. Then Overbay's only play, first base. So Matsuzaka gets the job done.
Top of the order here is Tejada. Tejada hit a deep fly ball out in the first. He walked and scored in the third. Started him with a curveball. Something he hasn't seen tonight. Tejada shown a little pop here lately too. Got a couple of home runs in his last 12 games. He went a long streak or string without homering. 552 homerless at bats. It was the longest active streak in the majors at the time, before he homered at the end of May in Philadelphia. And then he hit another one.
That's a place to do it, Philly.
Hits that one sharply to left. Davis closing in, makes the play, and the inning is over, and Estrada puts up another 0. Matsuzaka and Estrada hooked up in a pitcher's duel thus far through the first 5 innings. Carsoup.com trivia question: who is the only Japanese-born player to play for both the Brewers and the Mets? And if you said Hideo Nomo, you would be correct. Tell them what they've won, Rock.
I knew that one. What do I get? But I'm not allowed to say.
No. Okay, pitched for the Mets in '98, came to the Brewers in '99.
I wrote it down on my pad here.
Oh, okay, nice.
Actually, I just wrote it down.
That was one of Matsuzaka's heroes growing up in Japan, Hideo Nomo. It was the first, not the first, but this wave of Japanese players. Nomo started it up again. Here's Gomez. Brewers down a run. They'll have Gomez, Ramirez, and Chris Davis due up here. 3, 4, and 5. Or check it. 4, 5, and 6 in the order. Gomez walked in the first to extend an impressive streak. He's been on base in 26 consecutive games. Tops in the National League. Two balls and a strike. Gomez, big swing. Down to a knee he goes.
Yeah, had a hanger, just a little bit too anxious. Big hack. Matsuzaka got away with that one.
That ball's ripped right off of Matsuzaka. Throws to first in time for the out. That got him. And he's hurt. Got him right in the back of the leg, I think. Yeah, in the ham hock.
Yeah, right below the rear end. He's laughing about it. He'll be all right. Well, you can't hit a ball much harder than this. Boy, Matsuzaka fortunate that that ball wasn't any higher. And he was fortunate it didn't hit him in the hand. How close does it come? Yeah, not too far away from the arm. Boy, if it hits the arm, he's in bad shape. Hang with him for Gomez.
Medical staff out there on the mound. See if Matsuzaka will be able to continue here. His pitch count at 91. He says he's okay. Shooing away Terry Collins and the athletic trainer. They're going to make him prove he's all right. That was a rocket off the bat of Gomez. Tough break for him. And he'll stay. Check out the hit speed over there on the left. 105 miles an hour is the velocity of the ball off the bat of Gomez. That is up there. Anything over 95 miles an hour is considered plus. You get over 100, you're moving it. As Ramirez fouls it away.
And just think how quickly that baseball gets from the barrel of the bat to the pitcher. When you consider after he gets rid of the baseball, what's a pitcher, about 56 feet away? You have no time to defend yourself.
Ramos is 0 for 2. A couple of fly ball outs. He popped one up his last time up. And that's another one in the air. Matt Dendecker is over, and that'll be out number 2.
And make sure at Miller Park for the first T-shirt Friday of 2014. That's Friday, June 13th. When the Brewers take on the Reds, all fans in attendance
Get a Brewers retro t-shirt courtesy of Husco International. Visit brewers.com for tickets. Quick homestand coming up.
Yes.
Very quick.
Don't even bother unpacking.
I'd have to.
It'll crawl out on its own. Here's Chris Davis.
I am strongly urged when I get off a long road trip to unpack in the garage. From suitcase to trunk.
Even send your dog running. Chris Davis with 2 away. Brewers down a run in the 6th inning. By the way, speaking of exit velocity on that batted ball, so Gomez was 105 just by comparison. That fly ball by Aramis Ramirez was 77.
Right.
Yeah, just gives you a sense of how hard Gomez hit the baseball. Quickly 0-2 on Davis. Just got a piece of that one to stay alive.
Missed his spot that time. Wanted that higher on shoulder height, and gave it to him just below the letters. Good pitch to hit for Chris Davis.
Davis has a home run on this road trip. 4 for 13. He homered in Minnesota. Gave the Brewers the lead, as a matter of fact. Opposite field home run at Target Field. That was a big hit. Pitch 99 for Matsuzaka, and it's pulled foul.
Yep, new season high for him. And still throwing the ball pretty well. Doesn't look like he's tiring a bit. Mets do have activity down in their bullpen.
Bullpen has been a problem for the Mets this year. They have struggled getting to the end of games. The 1-2. Davis pops it up right field, slicing to the line. Granderson's got a long way, and the ball is caught. Or is it? Yes, it is. Granderson makes the catch in foul territory. Saw the ball pop free for a moment, and as he got tucked into the wall, he was able to snow cone it. Bottom of the 6th inning, Daniel Murphy responsible for those 2 runs. Homered in the 3rd with 2 outs off Estrada. And Marco moving into his 6th inning of work now. He has given up 3 Mets hits. And the 1 walk bit him. The walk ahead of Murphy in the third inning to Tejada. Made that home run a 2 spot. Put that one by him. Just a little bit of hesitation by Murphy. And a big swing at it, though. No balls and 2 strikes.
And a pretty good pitch to hit, huh? Right down the middle.
Murphy with that home run at the top of the National League leaderboard in hits with 80. 2 ahead of Paul Goldschmidt of the Diamondbacks. Lucroy's on that list. He's 4th. To the opposite field. Hit fairly deep, but Davis is there to make the play, and Murphy is retired. 1 away for Estrada in the 6th.
Yeah, best changeup that Marco has had in a number of starts. Pitch count in great shape. Only 65 pitches as he works here with 1 out in the 6th inning.
At an 8-pitch 4th. He's been very efficient tonight. Problem for Marco, his spot in the batting order is due up 3rd in the 7th. Next inning. David Wright is 0 for 2. A ground out and a fly out. It's been a down season for Wright so far. Does have 32 RBIs, but hitting just 279 and not much power at this point. Just 4 homers. Estrada gets ahead of him. A ball and 2 strikes.
He's certainly a guy that you don't want to have beat you late in the game, so I'm not sure how many good pitches he's getting to hit. He's tops on the list when you talk about guys late in the game you might want to pitch around or avoid. And it doesn't help that the guy behind him in the lineup, Granderson's not doing much.
2-2. Estrada deals to Wright, misses badly. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Supposed to be the big 1-2 punch. With Murphy, an on-base guy, getting a lot of hits in front of him. That was the plan as Estrada misses inside. Let him get away, so Wright walks with 1 out. Second walk issued by Estrada, and a base runner for Granderson. As promised earlier in the broadcast, we have the AT&T fan photo of the game. Make sure you use the hashtag WisFanPhoto. Sam coming in strong with the famous racing sausages. All 5 accounted for. I'm guessing Sam is in the middle of all that. And her 2 unidentified friends.
Yeah, we know the 5 big guys. We know who they are.
Do they have any races here in New York? I can't remember. I don't think so.
I don't think they do, no.
Just a giant apple in center field.
They don't have a race in Yankee Stadium, I don't think either, right? I mean,
definitely not.
Right.
The home run apple.
The big apple.
When they brought over from Shea Stadium. Don't get to use it much here. They do have the subway race on the scoreboard, but one of the few that has not gone into imitation mode with the famous racing sausages.
And they got people running around as subway trains. 4 train, 7 train, 5 train, right?
Didn't miss by much. Estrada wanted that call, so did Lucroy.
Yeah, not much on the corners, but Lance Barksdale has been calling a pitch a little bit below the knees. He rung Lucroy up on one.
2 balls and a strike now. Granderson with 1 out. And he misses high. Estrada falls behind 3-1. coach Johnny Nairn going to the phone. That's ball 4. Granderson draws the walk. Back-to-back walks by Estrada. And Rick Kranitz is barking at Lance Barksdale, the home plate umpire.
I tell you, man, I don't know if a guy has that good of an eye, but you know, if it's close, I wouldn't swing either these days.
Foxtrac's headed off the plate. Now Estrada's got to go to work here. Retired the first hitter. And then back-to-back walks. So here's Chris Young. Tough guy to double up. He has very good speed.
More of a fly ball hitter. Line drives and fly balls as opposed to ground balls.
That one's in there. Just been one of those years for Young. His season began with an injury. Had to go on the DL just a few days after opening day. A groin injury. Came back in mid to late April. Hadn't been able to get going offensively for the Mets this season. There's strike 2.
It's that low strike we were just talking about, right? Not much off the corners, but he's given a low strike. Or even a pitch that might be low. I mean, that looks low. Pretty close.
And you can almost see what Chris Young is thinking. Oh, okay, you don't call David Wright. You're going to call that on me. Okay.
Right. That's the way it goes.
2 on. 1 man out. No balls, 2 strikes. It's been a steady decline. He had that huge year in 2010. Backed it up, another 20 home run season in 11. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. Estrada pulled the string on him. And a strikeout for out number 2. That's the 5th K for Marco Estrada.
Well, started with a good curveball. Got the curveball over first pitch and got a low strike call. Then the changeup gets him.
So Lucas Duda now with 2 on and 2 out. Big power hitting first baseman. 0 for 2, a couple of fly ball outs against Estrada tonight. Mets have had trouble driving in runners all year. They've been putting a lot on base. Struggled in the runners in scoring position category. It's been a frustration for them. Mets are 0 for 3 tonight with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, they actually lead the National League in left on base. They're actually second most. Surprisingly, the St. Louis Cardinals have left the most runners stranded this year.
Total flip from last year. They were the best ever in runners in scoring position last season, the Cardinals. 0-2. Here it comes, and Duda won't chase the high fastball. A little too high.
Brewers one of the fewest left on base this year.
Black in the bullpen for the Mets. Vic Black, right-handed reliever. Dice K might be done. Estrada hoping to add to that statistic for the Mets, leaving runners on. They've only left 2 tonight, but on both occasions they've been runners in scoring position. Shift is on. 2-2 the count, 2 outs. Light and Granderson aboard. And Duda takes a ball
There's that pitch off the corner, not giving an inch on the corners, but giving a little bit down in the strike zone tonight.
Estrada gets a lot of swings and misses at that pitch. Duda didn't chase. Showed a good eye with 2 strikes. Well, we'll see what he does here. Runners will take off. 3-2 pitch. He is low, ball 4. Estrada has walked the bases loaded in the 6th.
Yeah, not sure he wasn't pitching around a little bit to Lucas Duda, who's got big power, but rather go after Teagarden, who just got called up.
High pitch inning for Estrada.
Not necessarily pitching around him, but wasn't about to give him a fastball in that count to allow him to swing away and hit a home run.
Taylor Teagarden will bat. He has struck out twice. Steps up with the bases loaded. Estrada with 25 pitches this inning. More than half of them have been outside the strike zone. 13 pitches for balls. Make it 14 now. Two 2-1 Mets. Big threat going. Bases loaded. And Teagarden to right field, slicing. Braun will watch it go in the seats. Teagarden's been in the big leagues before, but his first game in the big leagues this season, his first game since he was in the major leagues with the Orioles last August. Been down in AAA Las Vegas in the PCL. Strike 2. Right on the edge. Great pitch by Estrada. He's ahead in the count, 1-2.
Yep, at the corner on the knees. The Hall of Fame Express right there.
Got to make a big pitch. From the windup, Estrada deals, and a drive to right could be trouble. Braun is back, and it is gone. A grand slam for Taylor Teagarden.
Kind of the way it goes for Marco, doesn't it? When he gets hurt, it chooses a home run ball. He's given up 2 tonight. Fastball away. Teagarden gets on top of it and just able to sneak it over that right field fence for a grand slam. So that opens it up here. A 6-1 lead for the Mets.
Second career grand slam for Taylor Teagarden. And a mistake by Estrada he could not afford to make.
It's almost as if he was willing to walk Duda to load the bases to get to Teagarden, and Teagarden made him pay.
Mike Fiers getting loose in the Brewers bullpen. Boy, 2-strike, 2-out grand slam at that. To a batter that he had struck out twice. And perhaps a little rattle here as he faces Den Decker. Falls behind him 3-0. The home run ball bites Estrada again. That has been a constant theme for him this year.
He's given up 20 of them this year.
2 tonight.
He's given up 69 hits this year, 20 of them homers.
It's pulled foul. Dendecker still in a 3-2 count. Well, he had David Wright to 2 strikes. He ended up walking him. Got ahead of him early. Duda to 2 strikes. Walked him, and then a 2-strike grand slam to Teagarden. Ball's hit pretty well to center field. Gomez going back, and he'll make the play to end the inning. Teagarden, big damage. A grand slam makes it 6-1 Mets. Is in our Marshfield Clinic. Shining moment of the game. Not a whole lot to choose from tonight, but it did put the Brewers on the board. It was a double and an RBI in the 4th. And it was a 2-1 game until one swing of the bat just a moment ago by Teagarden makes it 6-1. Overbay driving in his 18th RBI of the season. And 1 out of 2 here tonight. So the Brewers down 5. Still have some innings to work with as we go to the top of the 7th. And rock a new pitcher is on the mound. Right-handed reliever Vic Black.
Yeah, Vic Black spent some time with the Pirates. He made 3 appearances with Pittsburgh last year. He got called up on May 27th and had pretty good numbers down in AAA Las Vegas, where he was a closer, had 7 saves and a 145 earned run average. So he's got a pretty good curveball.
Well, Daisuke Matsuzaka, his best start as a Met, gives up 1 run in 6 innings, only 3 hits allowed, and that run was delivered by Overbay. Three walks, 5 strikeouts for Matsuzaka, who is looking for his 3rd win compared to no losses this year. Most of that work out of the bullpen until recently. 7th inning. Here is Overbay.
Yeah, mid-90s fastball with a pretty good overhand curveball, one of those 6 to 12 breaks. Big kid. Vic Black, 6'4", 210 pounds. He's a Texan, you know.
Oh, yeah. They're growing big down there. I mean, look at me.
Out of Amarillo.
Famous George Strait song. Amarillo by morning.
Yeah, I know it.
Up from San Antonio. Everything that I got is just what I got on. As Overbay singles to right.
Go ahead.
Oh, I know the whole song. That was a big song, bro. George Strait is retiring to play his last concert. Did you know that?
Well, I think he was Entertainer of the Year, right?
Yeah.
This year?
He was.
Yeah. Country music.
Kind of going out in style. You're a big country guy now.
Yeah.
I feel like I've had a little influence on you in that category.
You have not.
Segura takes a strike.
Matter of fact, because of you, it took me an extra year.
I turned you on to the right kind of boots, though, didn't I? You never even heard of Roper boots before.
Right, yeah, they were
down
nice.
to
Yeah, the ostrich ropers.
Yeah. Full quill. I'll see if Segura can get it turned around at the plate. He's going through a tough stretch right now. A streaky hitter. Segura on this road trip has just 2 hits. He's 2 for 24 on the road trip. So good time to turn it around, down 6-1.
It happens so quickly, doesn't it? I mean, he was put into that leadoff spot. He was just getting hits one after the other. I mean, his numbers were incredible as a leadoff hitter. Then all of a sudden, it's like you flip a switch. That's the way hitting is. I mean, you get real streaky. You have stretches where they can't get you out, and then there's other stretches where you can't buy a hit.
There's a bouncer to Duda. Nice play. Goes to second for 1. The return is in time. Heck of a double play turned by the Mets. The toughest one of them all. It goes 3-6-1.
And Duda has started both of them. This time the pitcher has to come over and cover first base. Duda a little bit further off the bag than he was on the first one. That's the one that Braun rolled into. But Black able to get there in time. They get Segura by half a step at first base.
Now Logan Schaefer announced as the Brewers pinch hitter. So the night is over for Estrada. 6 innings, 6 earned runs on 4 hits. Both starters go 6 innings tonight. Daisuke 1 earned run allowed. Estrada with 6 earnings. And those 3 walks in the 6 really did him in. Matter of fact, he walked 4. All 4 walks scored tonight.
Man, that's the thing about home runs. I mean, you can stomach, big home run numbers, but if you have men on base in front of them, that's when they really hurt you. Solo shots aren't going to hurt you too bad. You don't often see 6 runs on 4 hits.
Got to have a little help to do that. Mets scored 4 runs in the 6th inning on 1 hit. The 3 walks and then the grand slam by Teagarden. Schaefer hasn't played much on this road trip. Just 0 for 4 at the plate. Chris Davis has been red hot at the plate. And Schaefer's had a tough time breaking in the lineup. In the air to left. Young going back. Plenty of room, and that will retire the side. Scoreless inning for the Brewers in the 7th. Auto.
Hey, big night coming up at Miller Park, joining Hank Aaron, Robin Yount, Rollie Fingers, and many other Brewer legends for an unforgettable night at Miller Park this Friday, June 13th, as the Brewers officially unveiled their Wall of Honor, doing a special pregame ceremony before the game with the Cincinnati Reds. Tickets are available at Brewers.com. Should be a good time. Looking forward to seeing everybody come back to Miller Park.
Absolutely.
More buddies.
More than 40 former Brewers will be in attendance. The wall is going to be located on the outside wall of Miller Park between the Fridays and the home plate gate. So you can go there, and for a viewing of that, it'll be open to the general public beginning at 6:35 p.m. Make sure you get there early. Each honoree will have a plaque placed on the wall. Ceremony on the field starts at 6:45. So get your tickets and come early. Mike Fiers making his Brewers debut in 2014, and quite the comeback story for Fiers. It was a year of injury and tragedy last year. He lost his mother to lupus, and he had a very tough season in more ways than one, and it is great to see him back in a big league uniform. He was dominating down in AAA.
Yeah, certainly deserves a call-up. A 6-3 record, a 253 earned run average in 11 starts. And the Brewers have their long man back. I mean, it's nice to be able to have Fiers up here. He can pick up some innings for you in the event of a short start. Got called up on Sunday from AAA. Met the team in Pittsburgh.
Brown is the pinch hitter. Hitting for Matsuzaka. Andrew Brown sends one foul. Here is Familia in the Mets bullpen. I would imagine that Renicky will ask Fiers if the score stays like this, the Brewers don't come back. He'll try to give him the last 2 innings. Mets won't need a bottom of the 9th in that case. And you could get through this one with 2 pitchers. Fly ball, shallow left. Davis will call Segura off, and there is out number 1 as Brown flies out. Well, we look ahead to tomorrow. It's Jacob deGrom for the Mets. He's been pitching well, doesn't have a win to show for it. And Willie Peralta gets the ball for the Brewers. Our Miller Lite, What's on Tap? We're on the air at 5:30 with Brewers Live pregame on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Yeah, Willie won his last time out against the Minnesota Twins. It was an 8-5 victory. He went 5 starts between wins.
The Mets lead the major leagues in players whose last names start with lowercase d's. And they sent d'Arnaud down, and they still lead the league. They had 3 players whose names began with lowercase d's.
Yeah, then Decker. DeGrom.
Go figure. I've never even seen a lowercase d until the Mets brought up d'Arnaud in baseball. Just a little fun fact for you there, Rob. Good breaking ball by Fiers.
Fastball, relies on the high fastball. Hides the ball well, does Mike Fiers. Just a little refresher course on what he does. Key is for him to get the curveball and changeup over. That's when he gets the strikeouts with the high fastball, because he doesn't throw very hard.
Fiers was leading the Pacific Coast League in strikeouts at the time of his call-up. Got a new number as well, Mike Fiers, sporting number 50. Used to wear 64. Just a tough year on him last year. Felt bad for Mike. And if you look at his baseball card, his career history, what happened last year, essentially because his mom was ill at the time, the Brewers allowed him, once he got sent out from the major leagues, to go back to Single A in Brevard County so he could be close to his mother, as she was ailing, and so he would pitch in Single A even though he'd been in the big leagues. And then on the days he didn't pitch, he would be with his mom. There's a line drive fair down the left field line. And it's going to be extra bases for Ruben Tejada. A 1-out double.
Fastball on the 3-2 pitch. In on Tejada, rips it down the line. He's hit the ball hard a couple of times, actually. Lined out to left in the 5th inning and hit a deep fly ball in the left field in the 1st inning. So it looks like he's more of a pull hitter than you would expect out of a leadoff hitter.
Here's Daniel Murphy. Murphy homered in the 3rd to give the Mets the lead. Put them on the board in that 3rd inning. Brewers scored 1 in the 4th. It was 2-1 until last inning. 2 outs, bases loaded, in a 2-1 game, and Taylor Teagarden hit a grand slam. Changed the complexion of this one. Murphy made the first out in that 6th inning too. He was the leadoff batter. And then after 3 walks, the home run.
And you got to tip your hat to Teagarden. I mean, he hit a pitch that was on the outside corner, didn't try and pull it. Hit a line drive bullet out of here to right. After Marco looked like he was being very careful with Lucas Duda.
Doesn't chase after it. Fiers had been starting in AAA. Skipped his start his last time around so he could be available out of the major league bullpen. He's pitched out of the bullpen. He's been effective in that role in the past. Fiers, one of 3 guys having dominant years in AAA for Nashville. Jimmy Nelson, who has 7 wins already. We saw him earlier against Miami. Came up in a spot start and got a win for the Brewers. And Brad Mills, the left-hander in that rotation, he's having a terrific year as well. Milwaukee very pleased and encouraged about their pitching depth. As Fiers walks Murphy.
And these guys very patient at the plate. He's in that swinging walks. And they're showing why tonight. They walked 5 times. A rare combination for the Mets. I mean, as a team, they walk a lot and strike out a lot. You don't associate those two being together. If you're patient, you're going to get a good pitch to hit. But they do swing and miss a lot.
Well, the problem this year has been driving in runners on base, and that has not been a problem tonight. They've only stranded 2. 1 gone for David Wright. Pulls 1 foul. It's been a while since Fiers pitched. And you wonder what that does to him on a night like this. I'm sure there's a little bit of emotion involved in returning to the big leagues. But he has not pitched since June 1st. Took a loss in AAA against Iowa, but he pitched well, 6 innings and 2 earned runs. Right off the end of the bat, Braun is coming in. He's got it for the out.
And 10 days is a long time. It really is. I mean, especially when you're a guy that doesn't throw very hard. Got command curveball and changeup.
Got our Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery. Curtis Granderson covering some ground and running into foul territory, and a sliding catch to make that play. That was a nice play, retiring Chris Davis to end the 6th inning. Former center fielder turned right fielder. Granderson walked in the 6th inning, last inning. One of the 3 walks leading up to the grand slam. He has 8 home runs this year. He hit 2 of them on Sunday against the Giants, and had a couple of home runs in a 2-game series at Yankee Stadium earlier this year. Went back to his old stomping grounds and homered in back-to-back games at Yankee Stadium.
Where fly balls end up being home runs, especially the right center out there at Yankee Stadium. Not so much here, though. That's a big ballpark.
Yeah, where Braun is standing now, he'd be in the bleachers at Yankee Stadium. Shift is on. 3 infielders on the right side. The number of shifts that are on against the Mets lineup that the Brewers have tells you a lot about the Mets lineup. They got some pull hitters.
Yeah.
At least on the ground.
I mean, radically shifting these guys, meaning they are dead pull hitters.
Brewers don't do that unless the numbers are overwhelming the spray charts.
Big shift in the infield, but pretty much straight away in the outfield, meaning these guys don't hit the ball on the ground to the opposite field too much.
Now Granderson wouldn't do it here in a spot like this with this kind of lead and in a 1-2 count, but there is potential for him to get a lot of bunt base hits against this defensive alignment. Slow roller, and Overbay will take it to the bag, and that will retire the side. So good inning from Mike Fiers. Back in the big leagues. We head to the 8th. Too far from there as far as miles go. We are here in Flushing, Queens. Brewers could use some home runs now. We're getting into the late innings. They trail 6-1. Powerball home run count for the Crew is 65 team home runs at this point.
Yep, third in the National League. They really haven't come all that close to hitting one here tonight.
Out of 3 pitcher-friendly ballparks on this road trip: Target Field, Minneapolis, PNC in Pittsburgh, and now Citi Field here in New York. Jeurys Familia is on the mound. 30th appearance of the year. He has been used a lot by Terry Collins and the Mets. And if the Brewers are going to do some damage tonight, this is the area of weakness for New York here recently.
Yeah, he's been pretty good. He's allowed only 4 runs in his last 22 appearances. That goes all the way back to the end of April. Talking about home runs with the Brewers, they haven't hit one in 4 games, including tonight. Did not hit a home run in Pittsburgh.
Last home run was Lucroy's home run at Target Field that extended the lead, secured the lone win on that 2-game road series in Minnesota. Brewers have won 3, lost 2 on the road trip thus far. 2 to play after tonight. Top of the order for Jeanette. Scooter is 0 for 2 with a walk. First game as a leadoff hitter. He did it 5 times last year. Might see this lineup stay this way for a little while.
Well, you got to give Jeanette an opportunity to settle in the leadoff spot. Sometimes it's an adjustment for a guy, although Scooter was in the leadoff spot a few times last year. It'll be a left-hander starting for the Mets on Thursday, so you figure Ricky's going to be back in the lineup.
You have DeGrom tomorrow, the right-hander. Cracks it back up the middle, base hit. So Scooter Jeanette with a walk and a single tonight. Unlike Segura, Jeanette is most comfortable, he says, batting leadoff. That's where he's always been. Here comes Ryan Braun now. 0 for 2, hit the ball sharply his last time up. Duda made a nice play and turned it into a double play. That was after the Brewers got a leadoff walk from Jeanette, thinking that might be the inning to get Dice K, but not to be. Matsuzaka was tough tonight. 6 innings, 1 run. Nothing wrong with the right arm of Familia.
Yeah, a little two-seamer right there at 96. I shouldn't say little. That's a big one. 6'4", 230 pounds out of the Dominican Republic for Familia. And he throws like it. He throws like he's 6'4". Gets on top of that fastball and gets good downward movement. There's a slider.
Jeurys Familia. Big black work day scoreless inning after Matsuzaka went 6. 0-2 to Braun here. And then down he goes. Called strike 3. Braun 0 for 3.
That dropped another slider on him. That was right on the inside part of the plate. Check it out. Just catching the inside corner, full and Ryan Braun.
Here's Lucroy. Yikes. Look out. Got him. So they've got a piece of the jersey and not the rib cage. Pretty quick actions there by Lucroy to escape that one.
And second time the Mets have hit a Brewer batter today. Davis got hit. That one got the jersey. That's not going to hurt.
Well, I tell you what, if that gets him flush, that's going to leave a mark. Lucroy did a good job getting out of the way, using those reflexes that we see behind the plate all the time. So here is Gomez now. Well, you never know. Get a good swing on one here. Hit one in the seats, and it's a ball game again.
Yeah, the Mets bullpen have been charged with 16 losses this year. That's the most in all of baseball. So they have been vulnerable. Put some pressure on him. Somebody hit one. It's been a while for the Brewers.
2 on, 1 man out. And Gomez rifles one right center field, and that's down, a base hit. And it goes to the wall. Jeanette around third. He's going to try to score, and the throw comes in late. Jeanette's in. It's a double for Gomez and an RBI, and it's 6-2 Mets.
Gomez has barreled him up now 2 times in a row here. He lined out off of Matsuzaka's leg his last time up and taking that one into the opposite field, slicing away from Den Decker. Not able to get there. Scooter scores, and Luke were able to get to third base on the double by Carlos Gomez.
A 1-out double. Gomez with a club high 36 RBIs. Here's a Ramos Ramirez now. A chance of let's go Brewers draws a few boos from the few Mets fans that are still here.
Yeah, that many people at this game tonight.
Announced crowd of 20,000.
Yeah, I think the weather scared a lot of people off.
Well, this is a big spot here. If the Brewers are going to march back in this game, they got to cash in right now. A run is in, second and third, 1 out. One of their big run producers at the plate in Ramirez. Still has 26 RBIs, and he missed 3 weeks of the season. 1 ball, 1 strike. Oh, a nasty breaking ball there. 1-2 the count.
87. Perfectly located that breaking pitch. Looks like a fastball, but then disappears going away from Ramirez.
Brewers down 4. Ball and 2 strikes on Ramirez. Tried another one. Ramos didn't bite. Double barrel action in the Mets bullpen. Josh Edgin is the left-hander. Henry Mejia, their closer, the right-hander. A little bit low. 97 with the gas that time. And it's a full count to Ramirez. The tying run is on deck. Here comes a 3-2. Down he goes. Back to the fastball. Ramirez down on strikes. That's a big out.
Yep, ball 4. Two-seam fastball down and in, out of the strike zone. I mean, not even close. Ramirez with a big hack swings right over the top of it.
Not a lot of time to make up your mind coming in at 97.
97 with some movement. It's not really straight.
So the second out. And here is Chris Davis. Brewers need one big hit to get him back in it. 2 outs, 8th inning. A little half swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Gary Cederstrom, the crew chief over there at first base. And it's a ball and a strike. Lucroy third, Gomez at second. Chased one. There's that slider from Familia.
One of the better sliders that you're going to see. I mean, very late breaking, not a big break to it. Very late, sharp. A lot of swings on a pitch like that.
Now Davis in a hole. One and two. And he fouls it off. Glanced off the glove of Teagarden. Davis stays alive.
Yeah, left that one down the middle.
Davis has big power. 10 home runs this year. Got him. Back to the Heat. And Davis is gone. And the Brewers strand a pair. They do score one. It's 6-2 now, New York. Flushing and our Toyota game summary. 6th inning troubles again for Marco Estrada. A grand slam by Teagarden after three walks in the inning set it up. 6-2 Mets as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Brewers just stranding a pair after they get a run on a Gomez double, but leaving 2 in scoring position. So Mike Fiers is out. It'll be Zach Duke to work the bottom of the 8th against New York.
Yeah, Zach Duke needs some work. He hasn't pitched since Wednesday against the Twins. Tossed a scoreless inning, gave up a walk and a couple of strikeouts. 32 punch-outs in 24 innings for Duke. He's only allowed to 1 home run. Has wins against the Pirates, the Cardinals, and the Yankees.
Mike Fiers in his return to the big leagues goes an inning, gives up a hit and a walk. A scoreless 7th inning for Fiers. Here's Chris Young to start it, and a liner in and out of the glove of Overbay. And that'll go as a base hit. That was a shot. Overbay was up in on the grass as well, expecting a bunt perhaps.
You don't expect the ball to be hit that hard to you when you're playing first base and a right-handed batter's up there. Plus, it's Chris Young. He doesn't do that very often. They had him positioned perfectly, didn't they? Once again, the big shift. He had Overbay off the bat, but just couldn't hold it.
Well, they're going to score that as an error on Lyle Overbay. Pretty hard hit ball. Zach Duke will take it. Here's Lucas Duda. If you're a hitter, are you bothered by that a little bit? Or
well, I was just getting ready to say that's a scoring decision from a guy that's never done that before. I mean, he has no idea how difficult that is. The fact that he was off the line, which means he has to be in. That ball right at him. Reaction time almost zero, and that's got to be changed. That's not an error.
And a normally sure-handed first baseman in Overbay. Swing and a miss. Duke went down sidearm, and Duda down swinging. Out number one. Made quick work of Lucas Duda. Well, here's Teagard in his first game as a Met. A grand slam that gave his team a little separation. Had 8 home runs in AAA Las Vegas. It's a big one tonight. It was 2-1 when Teagard hit the grand slam to the opposite field. Made it 6-1. Just like that. And it came with 2 outs in the inning, and it came with 2 strikes.
Yeah, both of the home runs tonight, line drives to right field.
Murphy pulled his to right. A chance to turn it here. Segura to Jeanette. And a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. Scoreless inning for Zach Duke. 2 to 9th. Last call for the Brew Crew. Overbay will start it. All runs on 2 swings of the bats for the Mets. For the Brewers, the Subway in-game box score looks like this. You got a 2-hit game out of Lyle Overbay. He has driven in a run. The other RBI belongs to Carlos Gomez. Had an RBI double last inning. Jeanette out of the leadoff spot for the first time has walked and has a single. He scored a run. And it'll be Overbay to start it. And the Mets, having lost 6 consecutive games, taking no chances here in a 4-run lead. And out comes their closer, Henry Mejia.
It's not automatic, though. He's given up 6 runs in his last 4 outings, and that was after allowing only 1 run in his first 9 games. He moved to the bullpen back on May 12th after making 7 starts. So here's a new role for Mejia. A .468 earned run average in his 21st game. As you mentioned, 7 of them starts.
6 out of 7 in save opportunities. Not a save situation here tonight, as the Brewers try to come up with a big comeback in the 9th in New York in the first game of the series. If the Brewers don't come back here in the ninth, they will have started each leg of this road trip with a loss. Brewers split in Minnesota, lost the opener in Pittsburgh, then won the next two, including a 1-0 victory on Sunday.
Yeah, bats have been quiet last couple of days, last couple of games. After putting together a nice stretch of games where they were able to score some runs.
And really keep juggling his lineup a little bit to try to spark his offense. The Cardinals are playing tonight in Tampa Bay. St. Louis leads 1-0. They go to the ninth inning there. Adam Wainwright went 7 shutout in that game. Cardinals have their closer Rosenthal on the mound. Tampa Bay is, you talk about a team having a tough time scoring runs. The Rays are floundering right now. They are 24-41 on the season. Could drop to 18 games under 500. And they're going to the bottom of the ninth with the Cardinals up 1-0 in St. Pete.
Yeah, Tampa last in the American League in runs.
There's a strike to Overbay. If both scores hang up and the Brewers lose and the Cardinals win, the Brewers lead would be 4 in the division. Three and 2 to Overbay. Left field, had it well positioned. Young is right there to make the catch. Boy, they had Young way over there toward the line, and he's standing there to haul that one in.
That's what makes it so difficult to get base hits these days. It's not just the pitching. These guys throwing 97, but how many hits have we seen, taken away by this shifting?
And how many doubles has Lyle Overbay had in his career right there in that spot?
Right.
He's worn out that left field line, but the spray charts, the metrics have caught up to him. Segura takes a ball. Very similar to Joe Mauer.
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of why Joe Mauer is not hitting for the kind of average that he used to. He used to go down that line all the time. Not anymore. Well, he still goes down that line, but there's somebody standing there.
Yeah, they're waiting for him. Yep.
And remember the old baseball cliche? They've been putting a guy there for 100 years. Why'd you hit it at him? That doesn't apply anymore because they've only been putting guys there
a couple of years
for the last few.
That's right.
It's a new game. Defensive analysis. And that part of the game is improving quickly as well. That's been the one metric that has been tough, at least for me. I don't know where the ball clubs stand on their own defensive metrics on on keeping up with the pace. I think there's a lot of metrics out there that can talk about defense, but I'm not so sure it tells the full story. Segura takes a strike. And there's a range metric that I don't feel like is valid in a lot of scenarios because of the shifting. You don't know where a guy's playing and how many steps, the kind of jump a guy gets. That's why you still need eyes on players.
You're right. I mean, a lot of these things that they've come up with, I mean, they have to make adjustments for, the way they're shifting, the way, pitchers are attacking hitters. And it's not as simple as just looking at a statistic and making an assumption. A lot more into it these days.
Full count to Segura. One away in the inning. And a shot right to short. 2 outs. Irving Falou will get an at-bat here in the ninth inning, coming off the Brewers bench. So Zach Duke works a scoreless inning. Mike fires a scoreless inning out of the bullpen. A couple of guys that needed some work. And another day off for the Brewer bullpen, the winning side of that bullpen.
Yeah, Will Smith gets another day off. Did not pitch on Sunday in Pittsburgh, had yesterday off. And at this point, he's got tonight off.
Be knocking on the skipper's door. I need some work. 2 quick strikes on Falou. Brewers down to their last strike. And that's it. Ball game over. Mejia finishes it off, and the Mets beat the Brewers in the first game of this 3-game series. Taylor Teagard with a decisive grand slam with 2 outs in the 6th inning, and it sends Ron Renicky and the Brewers into the loss column after a couple of wins in a row in Pittsburgh. Still 2 more to play. We check in with Jeff Grayson. It's time for Brewers Live. What do you have coming up for us, Jeff?